Welcome back to Grand Slam Sports Baseball. My name is Charles Foster, and I'm joined here today with
Jace Hodge.
And moving on, it was an eventful divisional week actually, and the Rangers massacre continued. The Rangers have not lost yet this playoffs, and I knew that they would go to the World Series, and so far it's looking strong.
Do I have to speak on this one?
You do have to speak on this one, Jace.
How do you
really
feel like it?
How do you feel, Jace?
I picked the Orioles to win this one in 4, and I really don't feel good about it now. I should have stayed with you. Orioles pitching is not what I thought it might be in the playoffs. Their young squad is not there yet.
It's a team that they got so much hitting talent, but their pitching's just not there yet. The pitching staff that they did bring up this year just weren't ready to go against a high-powered team like the Rangers. It went just about as planned, in my opinion. I was not expecting a sweep, but
was not prepared for a sweep.
It was definitely, yeah. I mean, this Rangers team, 1 through 9, all can hit.
Absolutely.
This Orioles pitching staff, 1 through 5, all can't really pitch. It was just kind of bound to happen. All the Rangers really had to do was just stay in it, and with them having as many sinker ball pitchers as they do have, it was going to be pretty easy for them to stay in it.
Absolutely.
I think it was just a battle of the matchup. I'm really excited, though, to see the Orioles' future. The biggest thing about the Orioles, once again, money. Are they going to be able to pay all these top stars? They got Jackson Holliday flying through the system right now. This team will be just fine. If you're an Orioles fan, don't complain. Don't be, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? You guys weren't even supposed to be here this year.
Yeah.
Being this far,
and a 100-win season, too.
Yes.
Come on.
Congratulations.
And AL East champions, come on. You can take a lot out of this season.
Yeah. This is a season. This is a A-plus season. The only thing they could, no one expected them, except for Jace, to really go to the World Series. They were just happy to make it. I
didn't pick them last week in our main show. I picked them a few weeks ago, and I thought they might do it, but
that's fine.
I didn't pick them this time. I did pick them to win the series, but not the entire AL.
Yeah. This is a fun team. And if you're a Rangers fan, hey, 2 more series away from finally bringing home a World Series ring to Texas. Houston stole one from, he's got one last year, but
Houston has a few now. I mean,
Houston's got a few, but Texas as a baseball state has been struggling until recently. Houston finally got their first 2 in 2017 and 2022. And of course, the Rangers have a chance to get one in 2023. They have never won one in their franchise's history.
Which is insane to think about.
It's just a team that's been mediocre their entire opening. Moving on to the next game, we got the Astros versus Twins.
The other Texas team.
This one was...
I don't like Texas team. This is going to hurt me to watch that in the ALCS. 2 Texas teams?
Yeah.
Really?
This one was about as I expected. I said that the Twins would put up a fight. They did. They did kind of put up a fight.
I think I picked 4 or 5, but I did pick Astros, so I was correct about that.
I did say Astros as well. I just said the Twins would also put up a fight. I am very excited to see the Battle of Texas. It's the way it was supposed to be. I mean, if I was writing a book right now, I'm not going to lie to you, this would be how it ended so far. These 2 teams were fighting all year.
Whoever's writing the script needs to stop putting the Astros in the ALCS. This is their 7th straight appearance.
I'm sick of them. Stay away. And if they make it to the World Series, I'm pretty sure it'll be their 7th straight as well.
No, it'll be 3rd straight.
3rd straight, yeah, because they lost that, yeah. Either way, this team is disgusting. I hate it, but hey.
Get them out of here.
Can we get something new in the AL, please?
Please, someone, scriptwriters, please give us the Yankees. Please.
How do you feel about the Twins this season, though? How do you feel? Like, what do you think? Success.
You win the division. I mean, albeit the worst division winner in all of baseball, but you win your division. You win a playoff game and then a playoff series.
For the first time
in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I think all in all, it's a successful season. Keep this same squad, maybe get one big player heading in the next season, and you have a legit chance to make a run next season. They
brought back Correa. Did not know how it would be. I'm very happy that they did. Their pitching looked good. Pablo Lopez came into himself this year. He became an ace. I thought it was going to be Joe Ryan. Sonny Gray played good. This team, pitching-wise, almost perfect. Hitting-wise, about as perfect as you can get being that hurt. We're going to talk more into how I feel about their hitting in the playoffs, but other than that,
I mean, they won that one game in Houston. I thought they had a legit chance to win this series, but then Houston just went into Minnesota and torched them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Houston's they're one of those teams that you just kind of look at them like the Monstars. Like you look at them and they just kind of come in and they got Yordan Alvarez, one of the most intimidating players in all of baseball, and then the dead opposite of intimidating Jose Altuve. But whenever he's in the playoffs, he's the most intimidating player in baseball. This team is disgusting. Now, I don't think they beat the Rangers, but
wow,
good Lord, this team is good. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
We'll get into that in a second.
All right, Diamondbacks upset the Dodgers.
I was not ready for this by any means.
Sweep.
I thought they might compete in the series, maybe win one game. But to sweep the Dodgers, going to LA, win 2 games, and then absolutely blow up Lance Lynn the other night.
I saw that one coming. Yeah, I saw that. I'm a White Sox fan. Lance Lynn is absolutely awful sometimes.
First ever in postseason, 4 home runs in 1 inning, 4 solo home runs.
Good for them, honestly. That's what I mean. The pool party stays strong. I love the Diamondbacks. They're a fun team. I wanted the Dodgers to go. Obviously,
Why?
I like the Dodgers.
Why like the Dodgers?
Arizona, they're
the most likable team right now.
They are a very fun team. You can't hate them. And
Corbin Carroll, man.
I mean,
we'll get into him in a little bit, but come on.
He's a rookie doing this good. Having this team right now, no matter who they play, whether it is in Philly or it is against the Braves, is going to be fun.
They went into Milwaukee 2-0.
Yes.
LA 3-0. 2 division winners back-to-back, away in 4 or 5 games, winning all of them.
The biggest test for them will be the crowds of the other. Because, I mean, LA, they showed up, but it was kind of quiet there for an LA crowd.
Milwaukee, too, they aren't always the best in terms of crowd.
Yeah.
But whoever they get in the next round, whether it be Philadelphia or Atlanta, that's the
loud.
2 maybe best crowds in all of baseball.
Because, I mean, tonight, it's going to be loud. We're going to talk about the next game in a little bit. But Dodgers, what do you take away from this season? What is the hope for next season?
Just keep being the Dodgers.
Keep being the Dodgers.
Other than the playoff Dodgers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this team has 1 ring out of this run of playoffs, and that was the COVID season.
Yeah.
Not much to take away from that. I mean, you keep losing the playoffs, it really hurts. It's kind of like a lot of teams we see in football, like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're like a Cowboys.
Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts both struggled insanely in this series. Don't even get me started on the pitching. We're going to get into them soon.
Kershaw, that game 1, man. Whew.
Yeah.
You couldn't even make it out of the first inning.
It's a rough game. This is a team that has all the pieces. They still got a great farm system. They got money. They're in talks with Shohei and other pitchers this offseason. They're going to be just fine.
The Dodgers, come on.
It was almost a 211 wins, I want to say, in the past 2 years, and 1 playoff win. That is absolutely disgusting.
The NLDS is killing them right now.
Yeah, that is absolutely disgusting. And honestly, we're going to get into that a little bit, but I'm sad to see it. As much as I'm happy to see them.
I'm not sad to see it. I mean, I don't like the Dodgers. I don't like teams that are dynasties.
Yeah, I don't mind
I like
the Dodgers.
underdog stories like this.
Who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't?
This is so fun to watch.
They're a fun team, and I'm really excited. Imagine the Diamondbacks in the World Series right now. Arizona is going to explode.
I mean, they have that ring from, I think it was 01. Their third season after expansion.
Quickest team to ever win a World Series coming from expansion. Arizona, you guys deserve something. The Suns have let you guys down for years, and the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I cannot wait to see the Diamondbacks, hopefully, in the World Series. Moving on to the Phillies versus the Braves.
If the Phillies win this series, you aren't going to hear the end of it.
If the Phillies win this series, I'm probably never going to hear the end of it. We each got a little piece. I predicted that the Braves will win the World Series.
And I picked the Phillies to win the World Series.
So this is going to be fun. I think the biggest story tonight has to be Strider. They strategically put Strider to pitch tonight in Philly. If there's any pitcher that can block out the noise from Philly, it is the best strikeout pitcher in the entire league.
In Philly, Phillies win this game by 5.
Over.
It's over.
I got Spencer Strider stopping the Phillies for this game. You could call me biased, but I'm also one to admit when I'm wrong. I still think that, if we had like a Bryce Elder up tonight, someone that kind of struggles and he's more of a sinker ball pitcher, then we might be talking. But
it's over.
Coming in here, I say Strider gets 9 strikeouts.
Wow.
8 strikeouts if he plays long enough.
Okay.
This is a team, they like to hit home runs. They're not very safe when it comes to hitting. Strider, he's going to take advantage of that. He's going to get them leaning. This team is excited. They're already on their toes. Strider's going to cause them some issues.
Do you believe the Braves are going to win both these games and win the series?
If the Braves win tonight, they win the series. That is my prediction. I don't see them losing Game 5 at Truist. It'll be sold out. Atlanta is a massive baseball state, surprisingly.
This guy.
If they win tonight, they win the series. This, to me, is the Game 5. Because beating the Phillies in Philadelphia and they had people on the roof last night. This team is the closest America is ever going to get to a European soccer team. These fans love their Phillies. And if you can shut up the noise.
It's the classic Philadelphia fan base. I mean, usually the Eagles as well, they have the same kind of thing.
Baseball is all about momentum. If you stop the momentum in Philly, and you come down to Truist with momentum on your side, with a defeated team that thought they were going to win it all, they already had their champagne ready, I think they take it. But it's going to be really fun. Something I kind of want to talk about, though, the bye week.
I was going to ask you, I want to discuss that momentum.
Is the playoff bye week a bad thing?
Yes.
Because these top teams that were all supposed to win it all struggled except for the Astros. And the Astros also did struggle in their first game. They just finally figured it out because they used to it.
Baseball is the biggest sport in terms of momentum and carrying that into the next game. Because when you have games back to back to back like this, you win one game one night, you're carrying that through the next few games.
Yeah.
So like if you go and win the wild card and sweeps as they all did, you have a lot of momentum heading into the division series. And as you can see, a lot of these teams are competing in these series because they had that momentum going.
Yeah, exactly. In baseball, it's all like you said, it's all about momentum. It's one of those sports that it's so hard to beat a hot team. We saw the Cubs; they had so much momentum coming into the end of the season, and then they lost that momentum, and then they just
by a game
and
to the Diamondbacks, who are now here.
So hard, and it's teams like that. Momentum, good and bad, can absolutely destroy your whole season. I'm very intrigued to see this matchup, but I also think that, and I think that it's partially just coaches don't really know yet what to do, because back in the day, a few years ago, whenever we get to the NLDS, it's normally still top team Yankees versus bottom team whatever.
Yeah.
Team that's not supposed to be there normally or barely there. No momentum or not, you're just going to get out-talented. Now we have top team Braves, who are still one of the best teams we've ever seen, but the Phillies aren't that far off. And in the NLDS, we're getting one of the best matchups.
In my opinion, to fix this, I mean, baseball has like some of the least playoff teams in any sport. I could see them expanding it to 8 per league, make it, make everyone play in that first round.
Exactly, especially with the lag.
Make it a 1-game series. I don't care. And I mean, maybe a 3-game for the 1 seed, especially.
Yeah.
But I mean, make a 3-game series. Allow every team to carry that same momentum into the second round.
Because especially in the league, that picks don't matter as much. I mean, you're not trading picks. You're not allowed to trade picks. Obviously, if you do bad, they get a higher pick. That's how it works. But picks aren't like, oh my goodness. So you can do a few more teams playoffs. It's not like they have a lottery system like a lot of sports do. I mean, this is a team that, if you're like making the playoffs, is not going to kill you. So I think it would be very intriguing to see a 1 versus 8 seed, 2-7, similar to the NBA.
We saw that in the COVID year, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ties and it was only like 50, 60 games. I think
and look who won it, a top team, the Dodgers.
I think that giving these teams a break, even if you just feed them a team to massacre for a 2-game series, 3-game series,
keeps them hot.
It'll keep them hot, keep them warmed up, because you can practice all you want. You cannot simulate going to Philly, playing against Philly in that crowd. There's no possible way to simulate that in practice.
But also, if you add more teams, it takes away the advantage of the regular season.
Yeah, but I feel like with 162 games, you're adding one more team. It's not the end of the world. But then there's also 4 wildcard teams, which is a lot. But also with how close all these teams are nowadays, it's not like there's the top 7 teams and then the rest are stinkers. You got teams that are fighting for wildcards. I mean, I imagine the Mariners were also in the playoffs this year, and the Cubs were also in the playoffs this year. Teams that deserve to be there, that were not there, they could have had a shot.
And honestly, I didn't mind the old format with the 5 per league, because that wild card team often got beat by that 1 seed in the next round, and then the 2 and 3 were both in the same aspect, on a bye.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'd be fun. I'm interested to see, how this all goes, but I think that it's definitely something that needs to be figured out, because there's no way that the Braves should be this cold. And it's not their fault. They deserve to actually have the advantage, and right now the bye week has not been an advantage for any of these teams. Moving on to the playoff picture that's still up next. Jace, how do you feel? I kind of want to look at this coming into this last game. Do you still have the same predictions? Do you still think Phillies versus Astros?
Yeah, easy.
All right, I'm sticking with my prediction as well. I think that these things will stay the same.
You're picking the Braves still.
I'm still picking the Braves. I think if anyone other than Strider was on the mound.
Phillies are winning tonight.
If anyone other than Strider was on the mound, I would change my pick. I'm really high on Spencer Strider. I think he's one of the best pitchers in the entire league, and give him a shot, he's going to do good things. Moving on to our playoff prodigies and, in our opinion, the playoff stinkers this year. What's your? I want to pick a playoff prodigy from every single series during this divisional. So, NL, who do you got?
Bryce Harper.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a safe bet. I think that Bryce Harper is. He took what Arcia said to heart. And
we'll get into Arcia in a second. I have a few words for him.
Playoff Bryce Harper is a real thing. People hated on him when he left the Nationals. He made the right decision despite not getting his ring with Washington. He's going to get it with Philly eventually, not this year.
This year.
He's going to get it with Philly.
Why are you hating so much in the Phillies?
Because I like the Braves so much. I think listen to me, if the Braves lose a series, the Phillies win the World Series. I will say that.
Thank you.
But they still got to beat
Because
the
they are
Braves.
winning the series.
They still got to beat
They're going to do it tonight.
They still got to beat the Braves. So Bryce Harper, he's been
that confident.
on fire.
I'm that confident Phillies win tonight.
Who do you got coming out of the other series, Dodgers versus Diamondbacks?
Say what?
Who do you got? Who has been the best
Sorry.
player?
Corbin Carroll. That's my bad. I didn't hear you correctly. But Corbin Carroll's been super impressive as a rookie. I mean, look at this guy go. He's been smashing it.
Corbin Carroll is the one rookie out of every single one of these rookies that got hype in the beginning of the season and kept it towards the end. There was the Patrick Bailey hype from the Giants fans at the beginning of the season. There was Ellie De La Cruz in the beginning. All these players that were supposed to be the next big thing and still probably are going to be the next big thing, but they just kind of went quiet. As the teams got out of the playoffs, you didn't hear much about them. Corbin Carroll, he stayed. He was an MVP and still is an MVP candidate as a rookie. I don't think we've ever seen, at least in the past, the modern day StatCast era, a rookie as good as Corbin Carroll. He is legit. Arizona has found their guy.
They are legit.
They are legit. Few more pieces. This team has dynasty potential.
Absolutely.
Watch out for Arizona. Going into the AL, who you got from the Twins versus Astros series?
Royce Lewis.
Royce Lewis. I mean, despite the loss, as hard as it is to say, Royce Lewis, good Lord. This man, he played so well. He was hitting home run after home run, and no one had expected this from him. This is a team that had shortstops in most positions. He played third baseman over Kyle Farmer, which was definitely not on my bingo card for this weekend. And he hit the ball well. He played out of position defensively really well. They might have their third baseman for a few years if they want to keep him there. I'm very interested in it. I think that he played phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Moving on to our pick from the Texans, not the Texans, Rangers versus the Orioles. We got Corey Seager. Corey Seager, people were hating on him when he left the Dodgers. I said,
right move.
When he went to the Rangers, it does not matter how much money they signed him for. He's the start of something great. And look at this. He has been the centerpiece alongside Adolis Garcia of a great playoff run and a potential ring. I mean, he was, I want to say, the playoff MVP in 2020 whenever the Dodgers won it all. He's a phenomenal hitter. He's an okay defender, but his hitting is unlike almost any other shortstop we've seen, and he absolutely has massacred the two pitching staffs we've gone against. Do you think he does the same against the Astros?
Yes. But I still think the Astros win the series.
Exactly.
That one, if I had to predict, I think that one might go 7, honestly.
I think that one goes as far as it's going to go. I think that one's going to be very, very fun. I'm excited to see how Corey Seager goes. I want to give a little honorable mention, though, to the Rangers pitching. They did exactly what they needed to do. They did not do anything marvelous. They did not do anything bad. They were just supposed to be there, get them through games. They did exactly that. Let their hitting win.
Yeah.
Moving on to the playoff stinkers. Who you got from
Orlando Arcia. What more can I say? I mean, attaboy Harper, not attaboy Arcia. He has not been good in this series at all, and Bryce Harper, rightfully so, is staring him down on those home run shots. I mean, Arcia, you got to keep your thoughts in. Come on, man.
I mean, like I said, I'm a Braves guy. I want the Braves to win this, but he started a fire that I don't know if he could put out. I mean, fans are rushing to defend him. You got Travis d'Arnaud last night, also in the interview, trying to defend him. You can talk stuff in baseball. You can talk stuff in any sport, but you got to back it up. And he has been batting sub 200. He has not been putting up the numbers that we all wanted from him.
Not at all.
I've always kind of said he was a little bit overrated. I don't know how he was an All-Star this year, despite being as good as he has been.
Because he's on the Braves.
Yeah, it kind of helps being on the Braves. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good shortstop, but I mean, he poked the bear, and Bryce Harper.
You don't want to poke Bryce Harper.
Don't want to poke Bryce Harper.
Not in this scenario in the playoffs. No.
So, not in Philly either. I mean, I was poking Bryce Harper whenever he got tagged out. I was watching that game, and I was like, nice. Like, it's tied up now, 1-1. But, I mean, no one really cares about my opinion. They care about his. Moving on to the Dodgers series. I mean, I don't think I need to ask you.
Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw and the entire Dodgers pitching staff.
Yeah.
Good Lord. This was their strong spot. Now, obviously, we talked about it, I want to say last week, we said, what happens with this team that's been so good pitching, but they don't have their pitchers anymore because of injuries. And
I mean, also speaking of their offense struggled mightily against the D-backs pitching.
And only really Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly are really their threats. Other than that.
They struggled against a rookie last night.
Yeah. I mean, Dodgers hitting, it's disappointing to see.
But all in all, this entire team, disappointing in the playoffs. I feel like this is like a scheduled talk every year. Disappointing in the playoffs, the LA Dodgers.
Just have it every single October, the first, second week of October, we talk about how disappointing the Dodgers was. And it's hard to see because this is a team that was, pitching-wise, had some of the best pitching in the league. They had a good mix of righties and lefties and then lost them all. And now, you know, I thought Bobby Miller would do good. He played awful. I thought Clayton Kershaw would do good. He played awful. Lance Lynn, I knew was going to do bad, and he did exactly that. This team, I'm sad, but hey, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Moving on to the AL, the Orioles series. Who you got?
The entire pitching staff?
Yeah.
The Orioles? Can I say that honestly? Yeah. I mean, you look at the Rangers pitching, they absolutely outdueled the Orioles pitching.
Yeah, and we knew coming in, the Orioles did not have playoff pitching. But the issue was the fact that they hit the ball fine, but going into a series against a team like the Rangers with no pitching, they refused to make any actual big moves to get a big pitcher. Whenever they had, the thing is they're scared to spend that money. They're a smaller market team. They know they're going to have to pay a lot for these top players. Do you think that kind of plays into the fact that they don't want to sign a new pitcher?
It absolutely does. I mean, being a small market team, it's hard to, you know, try to willingly pay all that money and possibly put the future of your franchise at risk.
Yeah, and I think that as a team, it's hard because, you know, when you kind of have to, you know, weigh out the pros and cons here, you know, you lose your hitting, but this team's got, in my opinion, too much good hitting.
Yeah.
You know, sacrifice a player, get a good pitcher because you guys aren't going to go anywhere with this kind of pitching staff. And it's hard to say, but this team has too much talent to just be a divisional loss every single year.
Yeah.
Moving on to the absolute playoff stinker, and this one's kind of hard from the other series. Who you got?
Framber Valdez.
This one hurt. This one hurts to say. I love Framber Valdez, and I think that it wasn't necessarily fully. He didn't even play really bad in the series. It's more the playoffs in general. I don't even think he played in this series. I want to talk about just the fact that he struggled in that first game. I don't know. He did play in the series. I forgot they got a bye. He only played one game. A 10.88 ERA for Framber Valdez. This is a guy that's normally sub 3 ERA. This is a guy that very rarely goes over 4. He's thrown no hitters. He is one of the best and hardest hitting lefties to go against. And against the Twins, you allow a 10 ERA. That is unacceptable for a team like this. Going against a lefty-heavy team in the Rangers, if he puts up that performance, they're putting up at least 10.
Oh,
and that's a problem.
More.
That's a problem coming into the series. You cannot have a good hitting team like this and have a pitching team that has been struggling consistently to get those good games, especially whenever your ace is struggling the way that he is.
Agreed.
But that's all that we have today from Grand Slam Sports Baseball. Thank you guys for joining us. See you guys next time.